What's good? It's Purge. First of all, I know y'all see the lights, or maybe you don't because it's still daytime outside. But I'm sure you can probably still see it. Like, you can see that it's blue now. It's gonna keep changing, you know. But yeah, this is the first part of a two-part discussion. It might be three, but that's gonna be like much later on. But today I'm gonna be talking about the Emmys, specifically the animation category of the Emmys. Now, in general, I don't really care about the Emmys or award shows because, like, honestly, it really doesn't matter. It's not about who's the best of the best. It's just what the Academy wants, like what the people who run the thing want to win, and it's not always going to be necessarily what is actually the best. Honestly, the Kids' Choice Awards has more merit to this. But yeah, but I'm here to talk about the specific name of the category is the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. This category was first offered in 1979. I can't tell you which one won. I just looked it up and I forgot. But yeah, normally a typical year there would be, well, first of all, any show is allowed to submit whatever episode they want to compete for the award. Then after the first round, which in this year's case will be over next week, so that's when part 2 will be coming out. After that, they're gonna narrow it down to normally 5 nominees, and basically between those 5 nominees, the Academy, not the people, the Academy, or whoever is in charge of the Emmys, they are going to decide which one is going to win the award. So yeah, make of that what you will. In past years, there's also been an hour-long category for this award, because the regular is half hour, and then they would have an hour-long category, but they stopped offering that in, I believe, 2009. Now, if something is an hour longer, then it can just go into the regular award. So, for an animated program to qualify in this category, it has to, first of all, fall in the timeline. The way the Emmys work is that anything that premieres between June 1st of the previous year and May 31st of the current year qualifies. Meaning, it doesn't necessarily go by what calendar year it is. It's more in line with a school year calendar. Like, to take a random year, 2015 would basically be anything that's premiered when I was in 7th grade, for example. To better illustrate this, I made a timeline map. The top part is 2021 and the bottom is 2022. As you can see, this part that's in red is illustrating the point of 2021 that is before June 1st. Anything that aired in this time frame is able to qualify for the 2021 Emmys, and then anything that aired after June 1st, 2021 qualifies for the 2022 Emmys. And then for 2022, anything that aired before June 1st of 2022 will also qualify for 2022's Emmys. And then anything that aired after June 1st of 2022 will qualify for 2023's Emmys. This is probably why, and this may or may not be the reason why they did it, but it is possible. Stranger Things. For season 4, they released part 1 on May 27th, which is just before the cutoff date, and then part 2 on July 1st, just after the cutoff date of 2022, meaning that it can qualify for this year's Emmys, and it can qualify for next year's Emmys as well, because they know that it takes them a long time to shoot the season, and they don't want to miss out on awards. So this way they can be in the running for as long as possible. So if a year from now you're wondering why is Millie Bobby Brown nominated, that's why. That's why she can be, and she probably will. Another rule, and this is one that they made very recently, like a couple years ago. For this category, only adult cartoons are allowed to be nominated. In past years, like in the 2010s and early 2000s, they did allow kids cartoons to be nominated in this category, but they've kind of just changed it because they don't want to watch some kids cartoons or whatever. But actually, on that note, they are doing another Emmy ceremony, which is for things that are more children's and family targeted, which I think is really good because kids cartoons were getting snubbed in this category. So yeah, that's a really good thing. I might even talk about that when it comes up. So yeah. And the third rule is actually one that they changed for this year, so it doesn't actually qualify for this year's Emmys, but there's a rule where to qualify as Primetime, it has to have premiered between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. Otherwise, it would qualify for the daytime Emmys. So, yeah. And now for the long part of the video where I list all of the things that have currently been submitted for the Emmys to be nominated. These are not the final ballots. These are just whatever each show that wants to be a contender has submitted. And there's 42 of them, so stick with me. Alright, so here are the nominees. I also need to point out that these are specifically for the episodes that are a half hour longer. If they're less than a half hour, they go in a different category. But there are 42 ballots, and I'm gonna list them off. If I've seen it, I'll talk about it for a little bit without spoiling. And if I haven't seen it, but I've seen the show, I'll talk about that. But yeah, let's see what I can say about these ballots. Excuse me. First off, and these are all listed in alphabetical order by the show's name. But first off, we have American Dad, Stan, Francine, and Radica. This episode is about Stan and Francine needing to settle an argument, so they go back to the past where they meet their past selves. Blah blah blah. Stan cheats on Francine's younger self. Blah blah blah. I liked it. I haven't really seen an episode of American Dad in a long time, so I can't really tell if this is like the best of the season, but thought it was not bad. Next we got Arcane with When These Walls Come Tumbling Down. I've never seen this show, so I don't know how good this episode is. Next we got Archer, Dingo, Baby, etc. I saw this, but I haven't really seen the rest of Archer for real. The only other episodes I've seen are ones that have been nominated in other years, but I'm not really a big Archer fan, but it seems like a pretty good show, and I might get into it someday. But I saw this. They seem to be in the middle of a story, so I can't really give enough context and completely understand like what is really important here, but it was fine. If it gets nominated, I'll talk about it, but I kind of doubt that it will be. It hasn't been nominated since 2017, so maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? Next we got Big Mouth, a show that a lot of people really like, but not me personally. And the thing is, even people who like the show say that it's not even that good anymore. So I don't even know why it's even on anymore. and more so why it keeps getting nominated. Because for the past 3 years, Big Mouth has been nominated for the Emmy. So I have no doubt that this could possibly be nominated again. And it keeps uh it hasn't won yet, which is good because yeah. But the episode that they nominated was A Very Big Mouth Christmas. And so even though I don't really like the show that much, I've actually watched this whole season just out of curiosity. And when I saw this episode, I was like, I knew they would pick this one for the Emmys. I know for a fact they're going to pick this one, and I was right. Um, and the reason why I knew they would pick this one is because not only is Big Mouth not a very Emmy-worthy show in general, but this episode is different in that it has a lot of different animation styles. Like I believe the hormone monster is a puppet at the beginning, and there's a lot of different like shorts within it. So I don't really remember them too well. Excuse me. I don't really remember them too well because I saw them back in December. So maybe if it gets nominated, I'll talk about it, and it probably will be, but let's hope it doesn't. Next we got Blade Runner, Black Lotus with the episode Free Will. I knew they made a Blade Runner cartoon, but I haven't seen it, so can't really talk about this one. I'll check it out at some point. Bob's Burgers, Something Like It Bot Part 1, 8th Grade Runner. What's weird about this is that this is a 2-part episode, but they only nominated part 1. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to nominate both parts because last year the pandemic special from South Park was nominated, and that's more than an hour long, or more than a half hour long. So yeah, this episode is about Tina writing in her journal about kind of like this spy thing. It's unique. It's a different kind of Bob's Burgers episode. I can see why they would pick this one. And the thing with Bob's Burgers is that it has been nominated every single year for the past decade. So I have no doubt that it can get picked again. But we'll see if they'll accept just part 1 of a 2-parter. Excuse me. Next we have Central Park, Fista Puff Mets Out Justice. Central Park is made by the same people who made Bob's Burgers, but it's not as successful as Bob's Burgers. So I don't think this is going to be nominated, and I haven't seen it, and I honestly don't have any interest in it. Next we have Countdown to Trump's Reinstatement, a Stephen Colbert presents Tuning Out the News ratings grab. Okay. Crossing Swords, Tent Pitching. I've never heard of this, but the title seems pretty cool. Next we have Dicktown, the mystery of the missing pimento cheese recipe. All right. I have no idea what this is. Disenchantment, the Cabinet of Dr. Chaz. This is made by the same people who made The Simpsons. So I've never seen it, so I don't know if this is good. See, with a lot of these shows, like they're in the middle of possibly their 4th or 5th season, so I'm not gonna. It's hard to just like get right into it if either I've seen it or I haven't. You know, like just starting right in the middle is kind of weird. Duncanville, Clothes and Dagger. I always meant to check out Duncanville. I haven't done it. Honestly, I haven't seen most of these, so yeah, I gotta get better at this. F is for Family. I have seen this one. Screw Ups. It's about shoot. I don't know their names. I've seen this episode, but I'm not really familiar with this show. I don't know their names, but it's about the dad like about the dad trying to tell his youngest son about the birds and the bees or whatever, and a lot of things. What F is for Family is, it's kind of a parody deconstruction of cheesy sitcoms. Um, kind of like BoJack, but I kind of like BoJack better. Um, but this show seems pretty interesting. I'll check more of it out soon. We have Fairfax Pilot and Fairview Crypto. Now, I've heard of both of these shows, but I forgot which one is which. One of them is one of them is like this high school centered show, and another one is a show where the the uh the characters are like dolls. They don't have like arms or legs or whatever. And I know this because it aired right after South Park. But I forgot which one is which one is Fairfax and which one's Fairview, but uh I can tell that neither of them are going to be nominated because a lot of these nominations, and going by previous trends, are shows that a lot of people are aware of, shows that have been going on for a long time or are just, really popular. And it's the same shows all the time very often. So I highly doubt either of these shows are going to get an Emmy in their first season. But we'll see. Next, we have Family Guy, The Fat Man Always Rings Twice, which is one I have seen because I've seen this whole season of Family Guy. This one is a black and white episode, and it's like a mystery or whatever. I knew they would pick this one because it's the most artistically different of the season, but I know for a fact it's not going to be nominated because Family Guy hasn't been nominated in over a decade. It's actually a recurring joke in the show how Family Guy can't win awards, specifically the Emmys, and they're kind of pissed off about it. So yeah, I know for a fact this one is not going to get picked. Whether you like Family Guy or not, it's not going to get picked. Sorry. Next we have Fina Pirate Princess, The Curtain Rises on the Climax. Haven't seen it. The Freak Brothers, Gender Binary. Haven't seen it. The Great North, Say It Again, Ham Adventure. This is another show that was made by the same people who made Bob's Burgers. So, but I can still tell that it's not going to be nominated. The Harper House, Home Alone on the 4th of July. Haven't seen it. Housebroken, Whodunit. Haven't seen it. Human Resources, It's Almost Over. So, Big Mouth has a spinoff for some reason. And it's specifically about the monsters and the bugs rather than the kids. And honestly, I have to say, from what I've seen, it's at least better than Big Mouth. If not better, then it's less bad. It's better than Big Mouth. If not better, it's less bad. And this episode specifically, I 100% see why they would pick this episode. I'm not gonna. If you really care about the lore of Big Mouth, then I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, some thing that happens in this episode, I can see why they push it. And admittedly, they don't do a bad job at what they do. But that's all I'm really gonna say here. I wouldn't really recommend it. If you're not into Big Mouth, you may or may not like this, but like it's not groundbreaking either. It's just, you know. But for something that I really enjoy, Inside Job. This show, to put it simply, is kind of a combination of Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty. If you like both of those shows, then you'll like this one. The episode they picked was Inside Reagan. And the thing about this episode is that's the season finale. So I can't really talk about what happens in it because it would spoil everything. But this is a great show. I 100% recommend you check it out. And I really hope this gets picked. I know I said before that I highly doubt that a show is going to get picked in its first season, but I hope this show does. This definitely deserves it. Next we have The Legend of Vox Machina, the Feast of Realms. Haven't seen it. Marvel's Hit Monkey pilot. My friends are real Marvel fans, so I'll ask them about it if they have any idea what this is, but I have no idea what it is. Pacific Rim the Black, Sisters of the Kaiju. I haven't seen this. Pen 15 the animated special. What? Okay. Ranking of Kings, the Prince's New Clothes. So what? It's like the Emperor's New Clothes, but it's the Prince. Okay. Rick and Morty. Mort Dinner Rick Andre. So this season of Rick and Morty was weird. Like it's just so many strange episodes. It's like it's hard to really explain what this season was, but like, But Mort Dinner Rick Andre. Mort Dinner Rick Andre was the first episode of the season, and it's the most like normal. It's the one that makes the most sense. So that's probably why they picked it. But I wouldn't really say this is like an Emmy worthy episode. I don't exactly know which episode of the season I would have picked. Probably the one with Bird Person. I think that was probably my favorite episode of the season. But More Generic Andre. Interesting choice. Not bad, just interesting. Santa Incorporated. Where the hell is Brent? Never heard of this. The Simpsons, Pixelated and Afraid. This episode is about Marge and Homer going on a trip to kind of like rekindle their love or something. And it's not even that they want to do it, it's because Lisa told them to, because they're getting kind of like lazy or whatever, and they need to like get out there or something. But they get lost. They kind of like rekindle their love on this trip. But yeah. Pretty good episode actually. I can see why they picked this one, although I haven't seen a lot of the other episodes of the season. Another one I saw was Lisa's Belly, which I think that one could have been nominated for an Emmy, but I think it's rather simple. Pretty straightforward about it's kind of like it's kind of a fat shaming story, if that's what I'm looking for. But yeah. But this was a pretty good episode. And Simpsons has been nominated 19 out of the past 20 years and 27 out of the last 30 years. So they're definitely going to get nominated again. So expect to see this one. Next we have South Park, The Big Fix. I knew they would pick this episode. This season of South Park, actually South Park in general has been kind of weird lately in that they signed this deal where they would produce 14 feature films for Paramount Plus, while at the same time having to make their regular seasons. They're able to do this, but what this means is that the seasons of South Park are now shortened to only 6 episodes. And I can definitely see why they would pick this one. It wasn't my favorite episode of the season. My favorite episode was Help My Teenager Hates Me, but that one is just kind of a fun, lighthearted story about teenagers being teenagers or whatever. But this one has more of like a topic of discussion, you know? It's kind of about I don't know if I don't know if I'll have to talk about it. I don't know if it's gonna be nominated. It might, because South Park does get nominated a lot, but I'll talk about it. So the episode is about Randy trying to be friends with the Black family. And by Black, I mean they are both an African American family and their last name is Black. So they're the Black family. Because he realizes that people want to buy things from people that are made by the Black community. And so what he's doing is that he's just trying to get a Black person involved so that his weed company can start getting more business just by putting a Black face on it and saying, hey, look, we have a Black person. um but and I'm gonna spoil this for long running fans. Another thing this episode is about is Stan learning that his friend Token is actually named Tolkien, as in the the writer of The Hobbit, right? It was The Hobbit, right? Yeah. No, not the. Actually, it might have been The Hobbit, but Lord of the Rings is what I was looking for. He might have did The Hobbit. I don't know, but um, the writer of Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien, is why this character is named Token, and not because he's like the token Black person, um, which is what Stan believed to be. And he was surprised to find out that everyone apparently knew this except for him. And so now he's trying to be so um understanding and trying to like really be a good person while not understanding exactly how to support his friend that he apparently um misnames, um it's a great episode. I can definitely see why they picked it to be nominated, and who knows, it probably will be on the ballot for the final round. We'll see. Next we have Star Trek Lower Decks. Wedge Dooge. Never never really seen Star Trek. Like I know what it's basically about and I know some of the characters, but like I'm not really like that much of a Star Trek guy, Star Wars, The Bad Batch, Camino Lost. I've really seen that. All right, we only got a few more to go. Next we have Teenage Euthanasia: Adventures in Beetle Sitting. I have seen this show. It's pretty weird, as most Adult Swim shows specifically are. It's about a woman who actually isn't Euthanasia. Euthanasia is the name of her daughter, but the show is about her mother. Mother named Trophy, who apparently died and came back to life, and now she can produce beetles out of her private parts. Um, yeah, and this episode is specifically about the daughter, Teenage Euthanasia, having to babysit the beetles while not the beetles, but the babysit the insects the insects that are beetles while Trophy is away doing something, and at the same time trying to make friends with these people, and the beetles are telling her how to make friends. It's weird. This is a really weird show. Next, Two Gun Birdie. I actually really like this show a lot. It's not made by the same person who made BoJack, but I'm pretty sure someone big that worked on BoJack worked on this show. So and yeah, you can definitely see a lot of the BoJack charm into this show. The episode that they picked was Planteo. Planteau. That's it. That's it. What was this one about? This was about Tuca and Birdie going on like a girls' night out with all these other girls or something. But I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember that this is not. I remember that it wasn't one where I was like, wow, this one really deserves an award, but Tuca and Birdie is a good show, so I honestly I hope it gets nominated. We'll see. Ultra City Smiths, Ultra City She Don't Care, never heard of it. Undone, Rectify, never heard of it. A Very Solar Holiday Opposite Specials. So I said that Inside Job is kind of like Rick and Morty, but this episode, but this show, Solar Opposites, is made by the same person as Rick and Morty, and because of this, it's just very Rick and Morty-esque. It's literally just kind of Rick and Morty. I haven't really seen it, but I kind of like watched the first episode and I was kind of like, yeah, this is just Rick and Morty. If I wanted to watch this show, I'll watch Rick and Morty. So that's why I haven't really been seeking it out, you know. It's not even that I can't really say if it's bad. It's just, you know. But I also doubt that it's going to be nominated. Because Rick and Morty probably will be. Next we have the What If series, and it's what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands. I need to watch this. I know that I need to watch it. And I can definitely say that I don't know if this is going to be nominated, honestly. But we'll see. Next we have The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. Haven't seen it. And the last ballot is Young Justice, Phantoms, Ego, and Super Ego. I have not gotten this far in Young Justice, so I haven't seen it. And I can't just go and see it because it's the story. I have to watch it from start to finish. So, yeah. And yeah, those were the ballots for nominations. Once again, I don't put that much value or emphasis into award shows. I can be happy for the people in the shows that win it if I think they're deserving of it, but I'm not going to like them anymore just because they won it. What this is just for Netflix to put on their description that this is an award-winning show, but it's not like I'm going to watch something just because it won an award, unless I'm specifically doing it for projects like this, you know. But yeah, those are the ballots, and next week they're going to announce the final nominations, and that's what's going to be in the next video. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and we'll see you then. All right, catch you.